This is Bob Anderson from Factory Direct Modulars. I thought I'd do an industry update since I hadn't done one in, I don't know, 3 weeks or whatever. And even the last one, I said I wasn't going to leave it up, and then I decided, well, I'll leave it up. I could probably have done one every other day since the last one. So I'm going to try to consolidate a lot of what's going on to get to what the point is today's video. And I've got people messaging me too, by the way, and I'm in Facebook jail, so for those of you messaging me, I can't even reply. I guess I'm too patriotic for Facebook. Go figure. So I'm in jail for 30 days, nothing new. Some people that know me that are watching this video will get a good laugh out of that. But anyways, but no, honestly, I probably could have done a video every other day of industry updates. I'm going to try to give a few simple ones right now. If you remember about like the last video, I talked about in a couple of them. I talked about these factories aren't even making money right now. Well, the interesting part about me saying that, and again, let's kind of go backwards. Behind my desk here is my old CPA license. You know, I can read a P&L. I can do a balance sheet. I mean, I know that stuff better than anybody working in these factories. And I knew a long time ago they weren't making money. You can't increase your prices fast enough when the market's doing what it's doing to keep you from losing money, because when one other thing is happening, and that is your production level keeps dropping. Because the bottom line is, you can sit there and calculate the price of the lumber going into the build, the price of the cabinets going into the build, and the price of XYZ going into the build. You can calculate all that stuff, but at the end of the day, if the volume's not coming out the other side, you're never covering the overhead. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the house itself has all the costs going into it. Well, the funny part about me saying that is one of the factories that I've been dealing with is a small family-owned factory, and out of the blue, about 2 weeks ago or so, I had a house that I had contracted that was a cash deal, and I go to order the house, and I get a frantic phone call. Bob, we got to reprice this house. You got to reprice it. Okay, yeah, fine. I'm used to that. I'm getting price increases all the time on these 17 houses, so no problem. Reprice it. Tell me what it is, and we'll move forward. No, Bob, you're not understanding. We have to actually reprice this house. Well, okay. What do you? I mean, I'm just thinking they're being polite to me. So I'm like, okay, what? Go ahead, tell me what the repricing is. So they go ahead and reprice the house. So the house was 1,300 square feet. Okay. The reprice was $17,000. $17,000. I was like, oh, what the heck happened here? And they were like, well, we went back and did some figuring, and we realized that if we keep building houses at the base prices we're building them at, we're going to build ourselves right out of business. Aha! So what happened is the accountants finally figured out it does not matter how much you keep increasing the price of the lumber, how much you keep increasing. If you know how much material goes into each house, it does not matter if you keep increasing the prices to match the stuff coming in, if the units are not going out the door to cover the overhead, because each house has so much overhead it's covering too. You got to cover all the overhead for the factory for a month before the factory ever makes a dollar. Basically, I was told, yeah, you're right, that's what we figured out. It does not matter if we keep increasing the prices on just the materials. If we can't get people in the factory to build the houses, we're done. That's exactly it. And this is a factory that runs off of about 100 employees, and the reality of it is they have been running with about 40 core employees. When you go from 100 down to 40, your production minimum is in a half. So for those of you that may not understand accounting or whatnot, if overhead applied to each house is, let's just say $10,000, and you're building 10 houses a week, if your production goes from 10 houses to 5 houses, that's $50,000 in overhead you're not even covering. Forget the material costs. And that's what these factories are fighting. Some of them have figured it out quicker than others. And so this one factory that was a little slow in figuring this out, I got a personal phone call on a Friday night at 6:30 at night from the owner. And the phone call went something like this: Bob, I just want you to know that you're not being picked on. I said, I didn't think I was. Well, we're just very, very upset that we figured out that we can't be building these houses for the prices we've been building them for anymore. And I said, I'm not arguing. I know that. I know that. And the next comment I got, well, some of our dealers are not taking this very well. And I said, well, don't let them fool you. Because all these other factories are already doing this. So don't let them pretend that you're treating them badly. And because they, you know, a lot of these dealerships are run by con men, so you know, they'll con a factory just as much as they'll con a lender or they'll con a customer. I'm just telling you how it is. So anyways, when you get a personal phone call from the owner of the factory of the issues, you know things are bad. Matter of fact, I had a custom project I had to have repriced back out to me, and it was $50-some thousand, $50-some thousand more for getting the changes to the house. You know, for this type of material versus that. For getting the changes, the base house itself was $50-some thousand more. It's insanity. It's just insanity. Yesterday, today is the June 9th. Yesterday I got another price increase from another factory. It's gotten so comical that even Champion has announced that they're going to send out price increase announcements every 2 weeks, and they're giving you the specific day. Seriously? Seriously. There's a specific day they're going to give you updated information. There's a specific day, and it's every 2 weeks. So anyways, so some of you may be aware that the lumber index is going down. It's gone from 1,700 to currently about 1,170, which is good. That's great. But it's still talking about lumber coming out of the mills in July, because that's when the contract is due. So we're still flushing through the $1,700 lumber from the old contract. It's just, there is a glut. I see it. I can see the glut of lumber at Home Depot. I see it out in the lumber yards. Something's going to have to give. But to compound the problem, there's still material shortages that are incredible. Hinges, just everything you can imagine. Obviously appliances, you can't even find appliances. Every factory I deal with now has gone to, this is your appliance package. If you don't like it, then don't get appliances at all. You don't even have choices anymore for appliances at every factory I deal with. So I thought I'd point that out too. So you've got pricing issues. We've got the governor in North Carolina, where all three of these factories are, said that effective June you had to start looking for a job, or you weren't going to get paid your unemployment. I think that the unemployment commission is so overwhelmed right now that this not getting a job thing is gonna scam is gonna run a little bit longer than just the governor saying you got to go find a job. That being said, at least we are going in the right direction with that. But even if the factories get staffed, one factory I know of is short by about 40 people, another one is short by 36 people. The one that shorts 36 is planning on hiring almost 100 people. They plan on hiring about 100 because they only think that even when they hire 100, they're only they're only going to end up with 30 when it's all said and done anyways. And then even when you find those 30, you got to understand it takes 30, 60 days to get them trained, so that you can even get production. You can even get production up if you can get the materials to get production up. So I really don't see any of this stuff straightening out at all until September, October. So now the irony of all this, I mean the true irony of all this is, I keep track of production stuff on my calendar behind my head that you guys see every time I do these videos, and I still have 7 customers this month to contract for a new home. I mean, that's just, it's crazy. And there's more. There's more calling, and there's more emailing, and there's more messaging me, and there's more, and there's more, and there's more. I don't know. I don't know where that insanity is coming from. But anyways, because I can't honestly tell people what things are going to cost until we get some stability and production and things going in the right direction. I've already got a bunch of these houses here that I've got. There's 17 of them that are coming out of the factory. I've got 3 this month coming out, but I've got to shift houses around because some of them, the deals are so far upside down. I've got to push them out and try to get the cost basis back down so that even building the house won't cost us losing money. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, there ain't no sense in building a house if I gotta write a check to do it. So anyways, there's that. Ironically, one of the things that Champion announced this past week in their price announcements that come out every 2 weeks, they were gonna change materials. They're not even gonna be using OSB on the outside wrap of the houses anymore. They're gonna be using a material that's like a recycled material. It's like a recycled plastic wrap board. Looks pretty cool, but they're doing that right now for cost purposes and for supply purposes. They're doing it effective. They started it effective the 7th of June on all houses. Anyways, I thought that was kind of cool. So I mean, you know, some people are looking for new ways to try to get around the issues that we have right now. I know out in the field, it still hasn't changed. I got a house that's completely done, sitting on 25 acres, and the only thing I gotta do is put decks and a covered porch off the front and a deck off the back. And the guy that was promising me he was gonna do that told me today, oh, I can't get it done. I don't have my crew anymore. Oh, you got to be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Anyways, so that issue has not corrected itself. You know, contractor issues out in the field have not corrected themselves. Not even close. But anyways, all I can do is just continue to plug through it. Like I've said before in previous messages, if you don't need to build a house right now, don't do it. Yeah, Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And I'm frank with the people up here doing this stuff. I'm frank with them. It doesn't matter, Bob, we still wanna build a house. Okay, I got it. I got it. I don't know what the craze is of doing it now is. I really don't. But, you know, I'm gonna tell you another thing. We have had such a price reset from a year ago, an inflationary price reset that I do not anticipate. I anticipate prices coming down, but I do not expect them to go back to prices prior to this past catastrophe. I think this is going to create a whole new base price for every house. I do not expect these factories to drive these prices back down to the pre-jump prices, which would be basically August of last year. I do not expect that. I do not expect that. I may be wrong, but I don't see myself being wrong. If you go back and listen to my words in a lot of my videos in the past, it's ironic that I'm telling you stuff that ends up happening in the future. I just, I read the tea leaves. But anyways, all I can do is sit here and still offer better pricing than my competitors who are stressing the heck out. I can tell you that. You know, just like I knew the factories were losing money, I can tell you which dealerships are losing money too. Just think about it. If it takes you 6 months to get a house, and then by the time you get it, your price point is 30 grand more than it was when you ordered it, and there's only so much room in the deal, and there's only so much room in the appraisal, but your overhead every month just keeps sitting there. Oh boy. Yeah, that's not a pretty situation for a lot of my competitors. Anyways, that's my update for today. I keep having people message me. Like I said, I'm in Facebook jail. I can't respond to people. And just let it be known I'm in Facebook jail for the right reasons. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you.